Welcome back to Shakur Or. I said I would do a proper introduction of the dogs since it's been a while and we have a lot of new ones. So okay, yeah, peeping. Oh, I'm just doing a afternoon walk. Oh, there's Cousin Hannah. Taking him out. Cousin Hannah. Whoops. Does that feel good? Oh. You say hello, Peyton? I'm not gonna say hello. Okay. You hide back there then. What is that? Oh, Lolite. That's Lolite. Are you Foos? Are you Foos? Say so, girl. Say so, girl. Wow. Right next to us, man. That's rude. Alright, so let's see. I don't know who knows who what, so we're just gonna go through them. That's Kazahana. No, dude, you just stop and stand right in the way. That's. Come on now. Move. Go. There's Cucky. There she is. Out of the way. That one doesn't have a name. She's new. I think I said that in the last video. She doesn't have a name yet, but right now we just kind of call her Bloodbug because we called her Bloodbug because she's like a leech, and a leech is a blood bug, so she follows me everywhere. Obi, she just got spayed. She's ouchie. Spoon, quit knocking me around. There's the Obies. She's looking for a new home. And Kadu, a werewolf pup. Spoon and 9. And Paladin. For anyone who doesn't know, Paladin, Sacer, where'd she go? Oh, there she is. Paladin, Sacer, and Lolite. Lolite's inside because she tried to sever her Achilles tendon, so she's on bed rest. They are siblings and they are out of Mana and Love Me. Demonio. He's deaf, so it doesn't matter if I call him by his name, but he's, yeah, see, he decided to give himself a hot spot. And it was only quarter sized. He slipped his cone off in the middle of the night and made it a lot larger. Okay, so we're still going this way, I guess. Got some people out this way. Still looks like he's limping. Is he limping or is he gating? I can't tell. Pedal. Inkwell's got skin thing going on. Appointment is set to hopefully find out what it is. Collies are prone to DMS, which is a autoimmune disease. Could be that. Could be he's picked something up during his transport. Because he had a bald spot here on his head and on his shoulder here when we got him. But it stayed that way for quite a while. How bad this is, had kind of just very recently got that bad. For a while it was just a spot on his head and his shoulder, so not sure what's up with that. Could be mange, could be DMS, could be some sort of weird bacterial infection or fungal infection. Really don't know. Here's the Arrow. He's also a sibling, full sibling to Paladin and Caesar and Lawlite. He was from the last litter that Caesar and Lawlite were from. And he came back to us because his home wasn't a good fit for him. Here's Sassy. Here's Sassy. She's dropped her coat because she's getting ready to have a heat sometime within this month or next month. She'll be bred to Yufu again. Oops. You bumped me. Hey, Bon. Ow, dude. Jesus. Hey, Bon. What you got a bald spot on your brow? Everybody seems to be having some sort of weird skin thing. I say everybody. Quite a few of them have had a something. And it's just, that kind of stuff happens. It happens. I'm gonna get out of the shade. It's cold this week. See if they follow along with me. And some of them come. Hey, Peperos. I don't know if I already mentioned this. I'll just say it again, I suppose. Petal is like a cousin to Lycoris. And it shows heavily. They look a lot alike. And I'm not talking about the color. Just structurally, personality, expressions. There's Lycoris. They are a lot alike. It's kind of wild, really. Watari. Watari is Yufu and Sassy's daughter. She's one that we kept. We're trying to get another female out of Yufu and Sassy that we like within the next 2 litters. If not, we'll probably go ahead and retire Sassy. Chishi. The intent was to breed Inkwell to Chishi next year, but that depends on what we find out about Inkwell in regards to his skin stuff. Let's see. Whoops. Back off. Okay, so I turned that away mostly because I have to really focus when the dogs are having an argument. So I automatically turned it out of my eyeballs because I had to have this up near my face to record. And if I needed to intervene, then I would have to throw it down anyway. It's just a given. We have a pack situation. We have multiple. All these dogs are intact except for Obi and Yokai now because they just got fixed. Because we're not going to use them anymore. We kept their son, but we really just didn't like the pairing. Didn't see where we would use either one of them again. So just went ahead and decided to get them fixed and see if anyone would like to have them in their home. Because they're good dogs. They're just not... How do I describe it? There are good dogs, and then there are breeding dogs. They're just a cut above the others for various reasons. And neither Obi nor Yokai are really... Yokai a bit more than Obi, but they're just not breeding dogs. And another part of it is both Obi and Yokai just weren't doing well as intact animals. And the reason I say that is because they have a really hard time keeping weight. They're picky eaters as a whole, but being intact and having those hormones flying around all the time makes it even harder. Because males, when females go in heat, they often will not eat until there is no longer a female in heat. Or they'll be spotty about eating. And for Yokai, who's a dog that requires eating a lot more to stay conditioned, it just was not good for him. Not a good situation. There's Obi. And Obi, the same sort of situation. She's hard to keep weight on due to the hormones. And when she did get pregnant, she stopped eating. It was just really bad. Didn't like it. Although she was a really good mother, she abused herself. Lost a ton of weight. She was very skinny. We didn't like it, so we're not gonna do something like that again. If there are dogs that we get or we produce ourselves that just don't do well as a breeding animal, whether the other things are in place structurally, temperamentally, we're not gonna keep them and keep them in that sort of state. There's Starlight. She is bred to Kazuhana. As of right now, expecting 4 puppies. There's Inkwell. And Hibana. And 9. And Fiction. She's female husky. And Watari again. Whoops. And the leech. I feel like I'm missing some dogs. I think they went toward the porch. That's what they did. There's Yufu. So yeah, another reason why we do tend to space out our breedings on certain females. Now there may be times when we choose to breed a female back to back. Sassy is one of those. Sassy is an easy keeper. She gets fat very easily. Like right now she's overweight, to be honest, and it's because we decided to skip 2 of her heats, I believe, since her last litter, and she's gotten fat. So we will be breeding Sassy back to back, hopefully get a female from her, and then she'll be retired. So it really depends on the female and what we're trying to achieve, what we're trying to get out of a pairing. There's Bro. He needs a bath desperately. I just noticed that. He's our oldest collie. Not our oldest dog, but oldest collie. He's turning 6 in March of next year. And yes, he had an infection around his neck. We had no idea where it came from. We had no idea how it got there. Sometimes the collies just like to surprise us. He had an e-collar on, a I don't want to call it shock collar because we don't use the shock on him. We'll just use the vibrate. It was during while the females were in heat back in August, I think. Because the Brio can get really loud and obnoxious. Like there are times when Brio just will not let up throughout the entire night. And all it would take would be a little buzz and he would stop. So he had it on at the time. And we can't figure out if, like, he got moisture under there, underneath the collar and got a problem. Whether he got peed on and that collected underneath the collar. But the infection was under the collar and around where the collar had been at. He's doing well now, but I don't know. It was weird. Weird thing. And Suki. She will also be being spayed. There she is. And we'll need a new home. And when I say that, we're more than willing to keep our dogs for as long as we need to, or forever. But there are certain dogs that we will offer up for a rehome because of the fact that we feel like they would do better somewhere else. Most of the time that's because they just don't do as well in the pack setting. Or we just feel like they would do better in a different kind of home than our own. So, yeah. And for some people that's a huge advantage, you guys, because honestly getting a puppy, it's a lot of work. And having an older dog, a retired breeder, I mean, I would encourage a lot of people to look into it. Now, there would be things that may be a disadvantage because they're going to have habits or behaviors or whatever from their previous home. They're older. They're going to be more stuck in those ways. You do not need concrete, woman. What are you doing with that? What are you doing with concrete? No. No, ma'am. That's mine. But in other aspects, I would say it's well worth it. Just as don't nix an older puppy. And by that, I mean a dog, that's under a year. Arrow, for instance, is almost 9 months old now. Don't nix it because they're already potty trained most of the time. Pomeranians are more difficult to potty train. But a much older Pomeranian should be potty trained. With ours, they usually have basic sitting downs, at least the concept of it. We don't command train a lot of our dogs. We do more of behavioral corrections than anything. But we do want to get into... There's Lapilli. Okay, so he's Obi and Yokai's son. He's the one that we kept from their litter. And he's... Structurally, I really, really like him. Coat, really like his coat. Muzzle, everything. It's just temperament. The temperament, well, he's like his mom. That's the thing. One of the other things about Obi, why we didn't really want to breed her again, is because all her puppies were a lot like her. And Obi's a bit annoying, as first she needs activity. She needs someone who's active. She needs someone who's going to... I'm going to put this concrete somewhere where they can't get it. She's a very active-minded dog. And that's what fuels her behavior, her barking, etc. Are you okay? So yeah, see, father and son right there. That's one of the things that we started trying to pare down on in our program is we'd rather have a slightly more obnoxious male or slightly worse behaviors on a male than we would a female, because the puppies often are a lot like their mother. Not gonna say there aren't some that don't pop out more like the dad, or a combination of both, because it does. Arrow, for instance, is almost exactly like his dad. That is Arrow and Mana. But Paladin's different. Paladin, Caesar, and Lawlight, they're not like Mana. Are they exactly like their mom? No. Not quite, but they are a lot like their mom. All three of them. And that's probably why, we ended up with them being like that. Like, Caesar, Paladin, and Lawlight are so much like each other. It's not even funny. But we love Lovemy's personality, her temperament. She's also inside because she has a hot spot on her tail, and if I brought her out, she'd start itching on it. Had to bring her out by herself where I can watch her. Like I said, I don't know what it is. All of a sudden, all the dogs decided to have little skin things. Different places. Mostly hot spots. Could be the weather change, I guess. What was I saying? Lawlight and Caesar and Paladin, they're like their mom. And we love Me so much. She's such an easy dog. She's such a good dog. Yuppa! No, sir. No, sir. No. And I think that's kind of how we ended up with three that are basically the same, because we really liked their temperaments as puppies, and they've turned out a lot like their mom. They're just more commanding, more demanding, more dominant, whatever you want to call it, on the other dogs. But with us, I mean, they're so easy. They listen very well. They're easy to train. Like, if we were to decide to teach them commands, which all three of them have been introduced to those things when they were puppies and following Starlight. They still know them. They still know them. The problem with Paladin, Lawlight, and Caesar is because they're so smart, they're so intelligent, they want to know why they have to do it. But I've done things with Paladin and taught him the stay command within 5 minutes, one session. That's all he needed. Now, to keep that consistent, obviously you'd have to do it more, but I've never had a dog, never been around a dog that learned that fast. And it was something that within that session of teaching him a stay command, I then decided to test him to see what would happen. And I took him down to the end of our driveway, and I was going to go check the mailbox, and I put him in a sit-stay so I could walk across the road, and he did not move. He did not budge from that spot until I came back and I gave him the command to break out of the stay. Very, very smart. Let's see, sir. What are you doing, girlfriend? What are you doing? What are all of y'all doing? Just standing there staring. Oh. I don't think I introduced Spoon, but Spoon's right there. Maybe I did. What's Spoon? Lycoris is supposed to be going into heat soon. She will be bred to 9. Both of them, they haven't been bred before, so we'll see how that goes. Sometimes the first time trying to do a pair, it doesn't work because they're new and they kind of just don't figure it out. But they may be fine. Every dog is different. 9 is also older now. We tried previously pairing him with Hibana, but he couldn't figure it out at the time. He was trying, but he couldn't figure it out at the time, and we decided to pair Hibana with Mana instead, because Mana is experienced. So he'll probably be fine this time. And the horse is also over 2. She's had, I think this would be her 3rd heat. 3rd or 4th heat. I can't remember. I have it all written down, but can't remember off the top of my head. And slightly older females, they do tend to stand better. I will say that. Like the younger females, they're full of zeal and all that, but they tend to be really goofy and silly and not stand still. Whereas the older ones, the ones that have been through a couple of heats, stand better than the younger ones do. But they also seem to be a little bit crankier. Trade-off, I suppose. There's Sear. Sear is bred to Ame. Ame is the brindle palm. I had to find him and show you. She's expecting 4 puppies as of right now. We're supposed to be ultrasounding them again this weekend. I might have to video that actually for you guys. It's really cool. Now we've only had it through 3 pregnancies now, I believe. So we're not totally experienced. We're getting there. We're trying to learn how to do it well, and how well we can do it will determine how well then we can count. But ultrasound is hard to count pups on a bigger dog like Starlight. The palms are easy because it sees everything inside a palm. I mean, there's not much there. Petal. Yeah, see Petal, of course. They look a lot alike. Oop, bonk. For anyone who's curious about Paladin, because Paladin is he'll be 2 in February. We haven't said anything about breeding plans with him as of yet, because we were really trying to either purchase or breed our own female for him. We wanted to get a really good one. But me and Peyton were discussing it the other day, and we may very well pair him with Kaki. That's not set in stone, but we have discussed it, and we did like the idea. There's Pigeon. Get down, get down, get down. John. All right, Pigeon. Don't harass him. You know he doesn't like that. Pigeon. Pidgey, Pidgey. No, sir. For those of you who do not know Kazahana's history, our rescue mutt bulldog caused issues with him when he was young, and threw into him becoming a young adult. And basically, you'll see Paladin's trying to placate to him. You need to get out of that mindset. Kazahana was attacked by our bulldog mutt several times. So he basically has trauma, PTSD, whatever you want to call it. There are certain behaviors and things from other dogs that he doesn't like, and it triggers him to attack. There are other things behind that, but I'm not gonna get into it. That's basically what it is. And he's gotten a heck of a lot better from what he was. But we still have to be careful. And he's likely going to be that way for the rest of his life. That's one thing to really think about, you guys, when it comes to socializing your dog. Unless you can do it in a very controlled environment, don't do it at all. Because you never know when you'll run into an aggressive dog. Or your dog does something stupid and triggers another dog. And then they suffer trauma from it. Because it is a thing. Dogs can be traumatized by being attacked. They're not impervious. Paladin was attacked by Kazahana because of Kazahana's problems. Paladin was attacked by Kazahana when he was a 6-week-old puppy. And there are things that we can see that has come from that. But Paladin has dealt with it a lot better than Kazahana has. And because Paladin's intact, he has been in fights with the other males. Particularly Stranger. He's our male husky that we have. But again, Paladin has dealt with it better. He has recovered through it better. And that strictly has to do with temperament. Kazahana is very sensitive. He's more high-strung. Paladin as a puppy was extremely stable. And even now, I mean, don't you jump on me. I don't need no 70-pound dog jump on me. No. 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 You doof. Yeah. Anyway, it is what it is. Always something to keep in mind when you think about breeds that you want to have in your household, breeds that you want your dog to be around. I'm not saying be paranoid, but there are breeds prone to things. There are breeds prone to dog aggression or same-sex aggression. If you have intact animals, same thing applies. You know, hormones will fly. It's just, it is what it is. And you have to be a mitigator, be that correction, or be that you're physically mitigating things. Separating certain dogs from others. There are times when we have to separate some of the boys from each other. Most of the time, that's just when females are in heat. Sometimes they just seem to get a burr up their butt, and we have to separate them for a bit. It just is what it is. Ame, you down there, get your honey out. That's why they're staring. You see how they hear him down there. The Toms like to slip through the fence and go down there. Watari. And to get the deer poop. And we're still learning. We're learning. I mean, we've been around dogs our entire lives. We've been in the veterinary field as kennel technicians. Peyton was at a doggy daycare. That's utter chaos every day. I do not suggest doggy daycares, by the way. Not after Peyton having been in one. If you're going to board, but I don't suggest a doggy daycare. That's just, it's a hot mess. And yeah, the dogs get in fights all the time. The vast majority of them, when Peyton was part of a doggy daycare, the ones that were started were bulldog types and huskies. There's Paladin. There he comes. No, she has something. Drop it! What did you find? Hey! I'm a chaser. I don't want to rile them up too much. They're running. Collies are herding breed BT dubs, and they do display some of that. They were also guardians. They display some of that as well. I've talked about it before, but when considering a breed, always look into what they were bred for. No. Well, I don't know what that is. I'll just pick it up. I believe it's pig poo. I don't really want to touch it, but I don't want them eating it either, so I'll just pick it up. You do a lot of gross things when you're a dog owner. Anyway, always research your breeds. Talk to people that have them, and I mean talk to multiple people, because you don't want to talk to just the people that praise them up and down as a breed. Most of the time those people are blind to the issues that the breed has. We know the kind of issues our breeds have, and we'll tell you. We absolutely love the collies. Collies are our breed, if you will. They're we jive with them very well. But they do have their own set of difficulties. Can you take the, can you give me something to put this in? Or something? We'll take your dog in. You can't have it. Can't have it. No. Pig poop. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Here they come. Go inside. Inside. Come on. Onto the porch. Onto the porch. Or Cousin Hannah can stay down here with me. Or not. I guess that's it. There's everybody. Most everybody. Oh, there's Ame. That's the one Sears bred too. That one right there. I think Rogue is inside in a crate. Rogue is one of our other palms. Look, she's drinking out of the bucket. Come on. So I guess that'll be sayonara. Talk to y'all another time.